In Avid, we often say that tutorials begin and end in the content area classes, because the first step is for students to review their Cornell notes from those classes.
Before I come to class, I have a tutorial question I'm supposed to fill out at home, and you fill in the initial question, and then you try to work it out yourself, and when you're stuck, then you bring it to TRF and you try to solve it from there with your group.
Students identify questions from their content area classes that they can bring to tutorials. They begin with their first question, work through showing some of the work until they identify exactly where they have a point of confusion, then generate a second question. It's important that students don't enter empty-handed, so tutors check to make sure that they have books, materials, and notes for the questions that they're planning on presenting in tutorials. The tutor or the teacher takes time to read over the tutorials to break students into groups with a 7-to-1 ratio of 1 tutor to 7 students. It's really important that that tutor doesn't guide the group but acts as a facilitator, sitting among the students and guiding questions. Here we see Lewis presenting a 30-second speech, giving his question to the group and asking for help.
What I really expected is binomials, where a was equal or negative to 1, but I didn't know the factor this one, and I need help with that. Does anybody know this?
Tutorials is a place where a tutor will help you learn the general knowledge you need, not by giving you the answer, but by asking the right questions to get you to the answer.
Tutorials create a helpful environment as we work together, because there's going to be other people in your group that know the work and you don't, and they help you so much better, because you're going to learn from your friends more than your teacher, because you're going to pay more attention to them.
Students repeat this process over and over until each member in the group has completed their question and received answers, or until time runs out. So Justin, what happens during tutorials?
A student writes his problem out on the board, and then he asks for help from his peers at his table. And while he's doing that, other students around at the table take Cornell notes, because most of the time we all have the same classes and we're all struggling with the same thing. So once we take the notes, then we have a better understanding of it.
At the end of tutorials, we reflect what we learned, who helped us, and what we can do better for next time.
Here we have 2 of our senior Avid students who serve as cross-age tutors for the junior level Avid classes. So Jared, tell me, what do you think your role is as a tutor in Avid?
So pretty much, I think during tutorials when they come around, I just help students with any kind of questions they need to help them better understand the subject that they're having troubles in.
And Jamil, how do you feel about tutorials? Have they been helpful for you?
Yeah, it's very helpful, because my fellow students, mates, or whatever you want to call them, they understand something that I don't. They can break it down. I feel better than the teacher can, because they're students and they can relate to me.
You gotta be really loud. Go.
Alright, I am a cross-age tutor. I am a junior that interns 9th graders, and it's pretty fun because they look up to me, and I help them through tutorials, and as a tutor, and I see what the teacher does. They need a lot of help, so I feel like I'm very helpful when I help them out. I feel like I'm their friend sometimes. They look up to me, and then they ask about the future, how it's to be a junior. And I just, as a tutor, I feel like it's a great feeling that they look up to me, and that's why I love being a tutor, and I'm excited for next year.
So Julia, why are Julia, why are tutorials helpful for you?
Tutorials are helpful for me because they help me with homework and quizzes and tests. And my GPA right now is a 3.4, and I feel like without tutorials, I would probably have like 2.0 or something along those lines.
Don't.
All right, Jordan. Okay, be honest. How did you feel about tutorials in ninth grade?
I absolutely hated tutorials in ninth grade.
And what changed your opinion?
After I started doing better in classes, I was like, all right, these are all right.
Tutorials are a powerful tool that can be used in any content area classrooms to allow for students to take control of their own learning in small group environments.